Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is October the 21st, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Currently chilling, relaxing. Had no, plans for, this morning, afternoon, so it's been nice just to kind of relax and, taking the day as it comes. Kind of playing my little games and whatnot, watching some stuff. Let's see here. No personal news. I feel like, oh, yeah. I made a couple of, home style burger sandwiches kind of situations. I made one, kind of normal sandwich. Then I, chopped up another one, kind of had a little chopped cheese situation with some onions and some ground beef and some peppers, stuff like that. Put that on another sandwich, and then I had some fries, and it was really yummy. So that was my food corner for you. Let's see here. Nothing else to really report on the personal news. So I will do my little startup and talk about the serious stuff. Yeah. All right. From the Associated Press, Russian-American journalist charged in Russia with failing to register as foreign agent. A Russian-born American journalist working for a U.S. government-funded media company has been detained in Russia and charged with failing to register as a foreign agent, her employer said Thursday. Radio Free Europe slash Radio Liberty editor Alsu Kurmasheva is the second U.S. journalist to be detained in Russia this year. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershwik was arrested for alleged spying in March. Let's see here. Now, this article doesn't have any updates or anything like that on Evan. I haven't heard too much outside of him trying to appeal his cases or appeal his case and them shutting him down. But let's see here. In terms of Kurmasheva, an editor with the RFERL Tartar Bashkir service, is being held in a temporary detention center, said the Tartar Inform, a state-held news agency in the Tarstan Republic. So, I believe she was actually not there on any kind of business. They essentially got her, I think, on the way back home from an emergency family visit. So that's very unfortunate. It's very sad. Let's see. I think she can face up to 5 years in prison if she is sentenced. Let's see. What else did I want to pull from here? Oh, my internet's being a little buggy. Oh. Here we go. Kurmasheva, who lives in Prague with her family, was stopped at Kazan International Airport on June the 2nd after traveling to Russia for a family emergency on May 20th, according to the RFERL. Officials at the airport confiscated Kurmasheva's U.S. and Russian passports and said she was fined for failing to register her U.S. passport with Russian authorities. She was waiting for her passports to be returned when when the new charge was filed on Wednesday. So that means she was sitting there waiting for this, and they were cooking this whole time since May, which is I could imagine very, very frustrating. It's look, I get it, tensions are high, you're gonna take advantage of this moment, fine, but I just want to go home. I just want to get out of here. And the idea of no, we're actually gonna fully cook you here. And once again, it's not like she was actually a she is a journalist, but it's not like she's a journalist on business. But essentially, I think, yeah, let's go ahead and read a little bit more here. The RFERL was told to register by Russian authorities as a foreign agent in 2017. It has brought the case at the European Court of Human Rights, challenging Russia's use of foreign agent laws that resulted in the organization being fined millions of dollars. So that's why, they're not trying to do that. That's why you're not trying to file, because essentially you're just going to put yourself under more scrutiny and then more fines and more potential punishment. And not to mention, yet again, I can't stress this enough, Kurmasheva was just there to see her family. It's not like she was actually there doing any kind of business. And they're like, no, 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 no. You were trying to do some spy shit potentially, or, exchange some information, or yada, yada, yada. So, they're trying to, I think, spin whatever they could. I think they landed on this foreign agent charge. Is this something that they could run with? And, unfortunately, most likely, like the Brittany Griner situation we've talked about before, both these people, Evan and Kurmasheva, are both kind of pawns, and that's, they wind up being like bargaining chips. So that's very sad. It's very unfortunate. So I wanted to cover that, talk about that a little bit. We can go ahead and move on to the next beat. From the Associated Press, doubling down. Belgian minister quits after monumental error. Let Tunisian. I was like, I know I can say this. Stop it, Isaiah. Let Tunisian shooter slip through extradition net. Belgium's justice minister resigned on Friday over what he described as a monumental error after it was discovered that Tunisia was seeking the extradition last year of an Islamic extremist who shot dead two Swedes and wounded a third this week. He was also murdered as well. Justice Minister Vincent van Quickenborne said that he and his services have been searching for details to understand how Abdeslam Lassoud had disappeared off the map 2 years ago after being denied asylum and ordered by Belgian authorities to be deported to Tunisia. On Monday night, Lassoud gunned down two Swedish men and wounded a third with a semi-automatic rifle. The attack forced the lockdown of more than 35,000 people in a soccer stadium where they had gathered to watch Belgium play Sweden. I think I might have gotten that wrong then and said it was Swedish and then not Belgium. So yeah, that might be a little bit of corrections there. In a video posted online, he claimed to be inspired by the Islamic State group. Police shot him dead on Tuesday morning in a Brussels cafe. So I guess that there was a demand to extradite him on the 1st, and I guess it was Quickenborne's, department to handle that, and one of his magistrates failed to, actually, track down or, actually fulfill this order or something like that. Essentially, there was a lapse, or they weren't able to really find him in the first place. So essentially, for this error, the Quickenborne is resigning. He's quitting. So I think, more or less people are like, oh, you respect your, your decision to do this, and that's the way that it is. So it goes. I don't know. I didn't really see or hear anything that says like, oh, like he was pushed out or anything like that. It seems like he just made this decision of his own accord, or I don't know. But yeah, I mean, obviously, just the situation in and of itself is unfortunate. I do like that this article at the end doesn't do the thing that some articles do, especially as of late, where they go, oh, this is actually related, like, to what's going on between Israel and Hamas. It's like, no. Belgian prosecutors said nothing suggests that Monday's attack was linked to what is happening in Israel and Gaza. So, good, because it does look like this person just kind of had his own machinations and motives. Like I said, he even, like, I think posted a video. He might have been, like, on his scooter or something while he was doing it. It's very odd, very surreal. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just a sad-ass situation all around. But yeah, that was an update I wanted to cover. Let's move on to the next beat. Speaking of updates, from Axios, Travis King, soldier who crossed into North Korea charged with desertion. Let's see here. A U.S. soldier who recently returned to the U.S. after crossing into North Korea has been charged with desertion and several other crimes, multiple outlets reported. Let's see here. The soldier, Travis King, has also been charged with assaulting other military personnel, leaving base after curfew, and drinking alcohol against orders, NBC reported. He is accused of soliciting child pornography and possessing child pornography, per Reuters. King is currently being held in a jail outside of Fort Bliss, Texas, as per the New York Times. Let's see here. Yeah, I did feel like the child pornography thing, that was a big update. I didn't know that until this week. It was one of those things here, and once again, long-term listeners will know, there was a story I covered in the States, and, you know, some military guy did some really fuck shit, and I was like, ew, that's gross. And I remember being, like, kind of charged, because then this story came up, and I was like, oh gosh, I wonder what happened. And I remember almost being relieved to hear, like, okay, good, this wasn't, you know, child pornography related, none of that. No, you know, kids were harmed in this, and then it's like, oh no, psych, it's bad. This is just as bad in a way, you know. But I mean, he was charged with other shit as well, so I did feel like this was a worthwhile update to circle back to. Yeah, because I really just thought it was just going to be like, yeah, he was wilding in the clubs or something like that. He was being too crazy, and, you know, he was just having like a mental breakdown. But it's like, he was breaking down for other reasons, because he knew he was going to have to come home and face some music. Anyway, we have one more thing to cover, and, you know, it's nice and light, and it's technically a W, so we'll call it as that, take it as that. I'm going to take my last break, and then we will close it out. All right. From the Associated Press, Egypt's border crossing opens to let a trickle of desperately needed aid into besieged Gaza. Let's see. The border crossing between Egypt and Gaza opened on Saturday to let a trickle of desperately needed aid into the besieged Palestinian territory for the first time since Israel sealed it off in the wake of Hamas's bloody rampage 2 weeks ago. Just 20 trucks were allowed in, an amount that aid workers said was insufficient to address the unprecedented humanitarian crisis in Gaza. More than 200 trucks carrying roughly 3,000 tons of aid have been positioned near the crossing for days. So it's a start. It is something. I hope that hopefully that number increases and aid will be more fluid. That's at least one thing, you know, we can say is a W there. But yeah, that's where we'll leave it. Like I said, nice and short for today. If you'd like to support the effort, you can. I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Isaiah News. You will become a newsie at that point. I will dub the newsie, and I shout you out at the top of the month. And then there are free ways to hit me up, isaiahnews1@gmail.com. And then feel free to follow me on all the socials. And hopefully you're subscribed to the YouTube. Hopefully hit that bell, hit the thumbs up on this episode, and all the stars, all of the, you know, buttons and stuff on all the other apps. Would you kindly? Thank you. Thank you so much. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.